Good day, everybody. How we all doing? Welcome to Chat. This is my little live pod stream chat thing, whatever going on. I do every 2 weeks. Um, it is a AMA session as always, but there's also talking points as well as other things we like to go over with on the channel. Do little reviews, discussions, etc., sports, whatever is on the agenda. I only have like a short list of things, but I can manage to stretch it out to a good hour. So if you have anything to say, it'll pop up in the chat in the message box to the immediate right over here, so you can see that to everybody. I decided to do a little change of the layout. I put the microphone a little bit closer to me so that uh, I'd be more in the center of the camera as well as looking at the camera more rather than over here where I'm off camera and out of focus repeatedly. So we're trying new things around here. I mean, it's a low budget show. This whole thing's sponsored by me, and you know, I just try different things every time when it comes to either cracking jokes or writing scripts or doing layout format changes on the Twitch studio or whatever, anything different. I would love someday to have the power to stream in HD, but that's that's a work in progress right now. It might be a year or two before that happens. Who knows? And I have other goals for the channel. Eventually, maybe getting Sith contact lenses and other stuff like that. But anyways, so welcome to the chat podcast, whatever. You're either watching this now live on Twitch or you're watching it as a repeat on YouTube. Either way, thanks for watching. Whether you skip ahead or mute the thing or just want to see me talk for a while, it's fine. But let's get into some talking points right now. So the first thing we're going to talk about is 2 weeks ago was my prediction for the big football game score, or not score, but at least who would win the game. And I ended up picking Philadelphia. And I knew in my heart of hearts that if Philadelphia won, uh, I'd be right, so I would win. Or if they lost, I'd still be glad because I'm glad that Philly lost. So Philly lost. Um, they lost to Kansas City, and that is what I could saw clear. Is that I didn't watch a single minute of the game. I had somebody call me during the game saying, "Oh, I don't think Kansas City's going to win this game. They're down by 7. It's the third quarter." I'm like, it's only the third quarter. There's still plenty of time for Kansas City to come back and win it, and they did. And I don't think it was that entertaining of a game from what I've seen in the highlights and reels and everything. Like I don't know. I mean, I had no vested interest in this game, so that's why I didn't watch it. I decided to stream Star Wars: The Old Republic during the whole game, and whether or not people watch me stream during the game, I don't mind. I don't mind if, one person watches or nobody watches, really. I'll still do this channel. I'll still make these videos and I'll still edit them and I'll still put them on YouTube. And I don't care if I get a million subscribers or not. I'm just doing it for the heck of it. As long as there's a digital recording of this going on somewhere, um, then yeah, you know, uh, it's going to be to me it's that's all that matters. I'm not here for the money. I'm just here just to have fun and post my videos, share my limited knowledge with you. That's what the whole point of these. I could always change these to holocrons, really. Like, instead of chat, I could just change these to holocron recordings or something like that. I don't know. um eh, we'll just keep it chat. That's kind of a nod to I don't know if I've mentioned this before, Ghost in the Shell standalone complex in the first season where there's an episode where the Laughing Man and Makoto are in a chat room. They don't know each other because they're using avatars that are not represented to them. And it's basically a discussion the whole time of the Laughing Man and what he is and what he does. And then realize the fact that Makoto was driving a car the whole time as Bato's sitting there talking to her. And he's just like, oh, I was surfing the net while I was driving this vehicle at the same time. It's crazy. That show is something else. I even have one of my original wall scrolls that I got when I was visiting Chicago a long time ago. But anyways, let's see. Well, that's all I think about for the big game score. I really, like I said, I didn't really care for it. It wasn't really. my cup of tea. And then I was thinking to myself the other day, you know what? Uh, the American football takes up 6 months of the year practically these days, from like August till February, mid August till mid February, and that's a good 6 months that we have this. So it kind of is a big deal over here. I mean, granted, I do love English or a European football, or what do you want to call it, non-American football. Um, I watch the Premier League on occasion whenever I get a chance, and the World Cup. I'll try to catch as many matches as I can, and I know it's coming up in America sometime in the near future, which is the Americas, excuse me, which would be great to see something in North America, but I highly doubt it. Tickets are probably way too expensive. Even if it's like a preliminary game or a first round game, I'd love to see one. Or even if it had push came to shove, an MLS game, which they're very cheap because they're not really well. Football, non-American football is not really popular over in the States. The tickets are relatively $30 or less, depending on where you're going to see them. So there's a team in Chicago, the Chicago Fire. I might go there sometime in the future with a couple of friends, and might watch a game in the future. Who knows? Chicago's not too far away from where I live. I live in the Midwest, so you know, uh, and I would definitely like to go visit Chicago again and go see a football game at. I believe they play at Soldiers Field. I could be wrong. Anyways, that's enough about sports for now, because I really don't care about basketball, and baseball's in spring training right now, so they're all down in Florida and Arizona having a blast. I was there last year, but unfortunately, there was a lockout, and it happened, and it finished up like literally a week after I had visited Florida. It was so infuriating. I'm like, "Ugh, I wanted to see cheap baseball at these cool stadiums in Florida, but apparently I get screwed out because wages." So, which is weird that, you know, there can be strikes and so forth in certain organizations, but when it comes to like, retail work or other lines of work, there's no such thing as striking, because, there's no unions, and there's no, which people like, oh, unions, blah, blah, blah. It just ruins everything. It's like, well, the reason why we have unions is so that the workers can be compensated fairly, whereas non-union businesses, um, this is going to be off the rails here, which, it happens on occasion, but non-unions basically get the shaft. There is no power to the people, so to speak. The needs of the many should always outweigh the needs of the few or the one. I know it's utilitarianism to speak that, but it's the truth of society. uh, One person is replaceable when it comes to the food chain up top. Anybody can be replaced by something else, but if you have a majority of people and they don't want to do something, then obviously more strong strength than the few at the top. But um, that's neither here nor there. It does not reflect the opinions of the channel or anything like that. Anyways, besides the point, I get off track quite a bit out of these things. Well, hmm, good time for a water break. Anyways, so let's get stuck into one of the first topics, and this is kind of new to me in that I just started playing the game yesterday, which would be Thursday. These chats are heading to Friday, so oh my god, let's just go to the picture. All right, this is okay. So I started playing World of Warcraft again. I downloaded the really most recent patch. I do not have the expansion Dragonflight yet, or whatever it's called. Um, so I'm not really loaded with cash to buy these things. You know, I will next week have the ability to buy this game, and hopefully by then I'm not finished with Star Wars: The Old Republic by then. I mean, it's getting really close. I didn't think I'd be so quick to get done with Onslaught, but there we are. And now we got to deal with Valkorian's garbage, and then move on to Legacy of the Sith, as well as whatever Shea Vizsla is doing with the Mandalorian. So we're going to be moving on that. And then there's that other thing where I know on the Sith side, they went to Dantooine. I don't know if the Republic does. But the one thing about stealth is you get to skip a lot of needless stuff. I don't know if you've seen the most recent video I posted on, or at least played on Twitch, but I basically stealth through a good chunk of the flashpoint, literally shaving off minutes of fights that are unnecessary and not worth my time, in that I don't really need experience anymore. So there's no point in playing. There's killing these people. There's no penalty for doing. There's no wrong answer. It's just basically, um, unfortunately, so you know, that's what multiplayer online games are, is just extra padding for stuff. If you can skip things, skip them. I mean, there's no point in doing it. That's why I like rolling with Maka lists sometimes, because basically we could just skip over some stuff. Whereas Never Mind, she just basically just turns into a lawnmower and just mows right through these people. And it takes a little longer, but I feel somehow more satisfied doing either way. But you know, uh, doing I believe it's Rage talent tree on the is the warrior, or the focus on the knight class, that feels better for some reason. When you get that force burst off on, it's just like boom, and it just feels like it just sent a shock through these enemies' bodies. It's probably one of my favorite tree builds for now, until they retool that. But speaking of retooled, let's go into World of Warcraft. So back to World of Warcraft again, and I don't know, I just started playing. I've been playing the game off and on since 2004. I want to say. I think the game came out in 2003, and I started playing the summer of 2004. Off and on since then. Sometimes I'd quit, not save my account. I'd come back, play a little bit, quit again, buy the 60-day passes, etc. Off and on. And you know, sometimes the updates are a little harder to get used to. This one really shook me to my core, but maybe I'm just getting older. And when you get older, you get a little harder to adjust with new stuff. Like, I can tell you straight right now, I am 40 years old. So this is I'm not young at heart. Some of these people that play this game are younger than the game itself right now. I mean, it's crazy to think that, anybody under age of 20 would be younger than the game. And I've been playing it since I've been in my 20s. So this has been around for a while now. And let's go to the pictures I got. So I got some pictures screenshots I got from. We're gonna do a slideshow. I know, right? Sounds fun and exciting. We're gonna look at some pictures and what I had to walk into. Now, you may or may not have played the game since the latest expansion, but I will show you what it looks like right now, and it's different. Let's go to the first one here. So this one right here, we're moving to a different camera. This one right here is what it looks like here is this is the new layout when you load up. This is how the game looks like. This is my paladin on the alliance side, because I usually play on alliance, and I usually, if I want to play easy mode, I'll play a paladin. They just heal better. They don't take much damage. So I'm playing protection paladin, which is even more like a walking, slow moving but powerful tank. And this is what you load into. This is a screenshot. I'm not going to load up the game because I just really don't feel like doing it live. And just I figured screenshots would be a lot easier, and no AFKs, nobody bothering you or anything. This is what it looks like. You got your portraits are down here now, so you can see yourself a lot easier. And I don't know why that is. I mean, I guess it's important to see your heals and so forth, but there's a lot of stuff that was just moved around all over here, things all over the place. The icons are different. The your experience and reputation are basically separated now. There's no backing anymore with the action bars. Um, it feels out of place. This down here is a dumpster fire with all the bags. So the bags now are on their own little expandable window. You can minimize and maximize this, but you can also on here um, click it to change to see all bags being one giant bag. And to me, it's just like, where do the regions go? Or I mean, where do your your herbalism or your enchanting stuff go, etc. So I just switched that back to basically individual bags. It works for me. I don't know if it works for everybody else. And then you got your action bar on the side there. It it's where it's supposed to be. The mini map is now something almost out of Star Wars: The Old Republic, in that they made it absurdly big. It used to be maybe about half that size, but now it's like a portable map on the screen. So it's kind of like the one you can do now in Star Wars: The Old Republic, where you can just kind of make the map bigger and you can see the whole map on the side if you want. And that's what I did. So now that the map will appear like right about here in Star Wars: The Old Republic, and you kind of see me as I'm going around, where I'm moving and so forth. But the quests are the same. Then you got your buffs up here on the upper right hand corner, and then very very tiny right up here there is I believe that is the what you're looking for. So they got rid of whatever you target. They basically broke it down to auction house, barber, uh auction house, barber, um banker, uh trying to remember everything, profession trainers, and uh trivial quests, and that's about it. And then whatever it is you're looking for, like herbalism or mining or that sort of thing. And the hunter one's probably just as easy as well. And that's fine and all, but I kind of wanted to customize my targets and everything like that. Or I mean, I don't really customize it, but you used to have to activate that. And I think the mailbox is still on there too, and flight paths, obviously. I think. And then in the upper right hand corner is now the calendar. It's really small and you can barely see it anymore. And this can be the map. You can get as big as you want, so you can get as much as you can on the screen. But you got to find your right size. So yeah, they've kind of changed everything around here. I don't know. I might have jacked up a little bit some of it when I finished up laying it out, but I don't care. I try to make this thing work as best I could, but it is a nightmare to mess around with. So then we're gonna move on to the next screen. This is what the talent trees look like now. So now you can customize your talent trees to be whatever you want, and so now you're not much copy and paste. You just pick a tree and go down. And this this thing's a mess in itself, that you have to like literally sit there and study and figure out, all right, how do I want to get, if I want to get down to this one here, how do I get that way? You know, and you run into a lot of talents like, oh my god, they're forcing you to pick really dumb ones, and just to get what you need. And this is straight up on the left side is this all paladin points. I don't know how many you would get uh a level, or how the frequency is on that level. I'm guessing like even levels or odd levels after 10. I don't know. At 10 you get your first one, and then every so often you get one on the other side, which is a protection tree. So for me anyways, this is your specialization is on the right, your generics are on the left. So everybody gets the tree on the left if you're a paladin, or there'll be a tree for death knights or warlocks or priests or whatever. That's their generic tree. Everybody gets these spells if they so choose to do so. This is for specializations like your protection trees or your frost tree or whatever it is that you got. That is over here. And obviously, still got your PvP talents down here if you want to. You can reset them whenever you feel like it by pushing this button right here. This applies changes. This you can search for whatever it is you're looking for. You can switch to a loadout if you want to ask the computer, hey, can you help me out here? So this is what the trees look like. It is a cluster mess of uh, choosing and picking which ones you want just to get down to the ones you want. You don't have to get both of the talents on this tree to get this ability. You can do this one right down here. If you just pick this one right here, you'll end up getting that one. You don't have to get this one to get that one. So that's one of the good things. They're not forcing you. This is kind of like Oh, what's that game on Steam? Or it is like Diablo 3. I really Path of the Exile, that's it. But Path of the Exile's tree, if you think this tree is crazy, Path of the Exile is way more crazy, but it is way better fixed so that you can actually kind of worm your way through the tree and go wherever you want to go to focus whenever you want to. I have a had a I think a sorceress or something like that who was a necromancer ice mage, and it was or lightning. I can't remember which one. I think lightning. Yeah, lightning necromancer, and it was pretty tight. I liked it a lot, and you would just mow through people, but your mana regeneration was so high. It's a fun game. We'll be probably playing that game in the future. I don't know, probably 2024 if we're lucky. Um, it's a gruesome game, but it's very fun and it's very long. So we'll probably play that one in the future. But this talent tree is uh, a lot more enjoyable than well, not really enjoyable, but really a mess. But I understand what they're trying to do with it, and you kind of get stuck with lay of hands and protection right off the bat. So everybody gets that for paladins. So you get stuck with a talent already. The warlocks one is really dumb. I mean, really dumb. It's like a teleport, sorta. You can lay this spot down, move away for about 15 minutes, and you can always come back to it. I mean, I don't get the practicality of it, and I'm kind of disappointed in that. I'm like, why can't we get something better for starting talent? Anyways, I wasn't really a big fan of that. So this talent tree is like, I honestly don't know what the scaling system is or how many which points you get at which levels. I've only played like one level with the warlock and one level with the paladin, so I really don't know. But moving on to the next one, how about that? So if this looks familiar, this screen right here, it is almost a copy and paste of the seasons in Star Wars: The Old Republic. You do certain things and it moves this bar up and you get certain prizes. Behind the image, there are salespeople. I believe the woman in white here is also a salesperson. If you get X amount of these tokens or whatever, you can buy stuff on there. And I got like 1,000 right off the bat. I ended up buying a mount that's shared about through all of the your tunes. So anybody can summon this mount that I have. It only costs 1,000. I'm like, sure, whatever. But you can do all these quests, which I'm assuming is more like raids and dungeons and such. But I probably won't get far on this season or whatever. But this is only a month long thing, so it lasts all month, and and it'll change like pretty much what's going on over here. Whatever it is that you do will get you more points. So the more you PvP or the more you do dungeons, the more likely to get more of these points. I don't know if it goes any higher than the 1,000 here, but I it's just basically a copy and paste of uh, what they do in Star Wars: The Old Republic. Excuse me. But at least you get to choose what you want to purchase with them. You get stuck with these crazy lightsabers, blasters, uniforms, skins, whatever for whatever tune that they want you to play with for the month. I'm not a big fan of that on Star Wars: The Old Republic. I don't mind the random cartel packs or coins or tech fragments or whatever, but I don't like when you get stuck with all these lightsabers and blasters and the colors that I'll never use. I'm like, what good are these for me? Maybe I should be selling them on the Galactic Trade Network, but since everybody has it, what's the point? So you're stuck getting all these items, whereas in World of Warcraft, it's like, you know what? You decide what you want to buy. I appreciate that. I kind of like the idea of me being in charge of what to buy for these month long uh, quests that you have to do or things that are on your to do list or whatever. I did not get into looking at what each one entails because obviously the first one's 30 quests. Well, that's kind of easy to get. So I'm assuming that one, the more you go further down, the more difficult and the more of a challenge it is to get them completed. But I would believe if it's anything like Star Wars, anybody can do it as long as you put in the work. And if you play every day, you can probably get enough points that you can get, whatever it is you desire. But it's in, I believe it's in, as far as I know, it's only in Stormwind. I haven't been to Ogremeyer or Undercity or Ironforge yet because I just got started playing the game a little bit yesterday, which wasn't much. And then I started playing like maybe 5 minutes today because I had to finish editing one of my videos. And I don't know what I'm looking for in this game at the moment when it comes to all the stuff that's going on right here. So moving on to the next one. This is this is what your professions look like now. This is your profession screen. So she's a tailor and an enchanter. And by the way, no hate shaming on anybody for playing as a male playing a female or a female playing a male. Whatever you want to do in a video game, if you like male characters and you're a female, go for it. If you like female characters and you're a male, go for it. Just play the characters that you want to play. Okay? No right or wrong answer here. I don't care about representation of yourself. You can only, if you're a guy, you can only play guy characters. If you're a girl, you can only play girl characters. It doesn't matter, okay? If you're trying to find love in an RPG, I mean, more power to if it works, but just play whatever you want to play. Anyways, that's back to what we're going at here. Just a second here. I'll drink me some more of that good water. Well, speaking of water, before I go back into this nonsense over here, the reason why I'm drinking out of water bottles right now, and we do recycle in the state I live in. On Sunday this week, I had just gotten back from being away, and I was just about ready to fill up my water canister for work because I drink like 64 ounces of water daily, more so. And I just pulled it out, and just as I got almost out of the refrigerator, it slips out of my hand, crashes on the floor, and breaks. And then 3 gallons of water just end up on the kitchen floor, and it was a mess. I had to waste almost all my towels to dry it up. Not talking paper towels, I'm talking about shower towels. All my shower towels are pretty much gone because I had to clean up 3 gallons of water on the floor of my kitchen because there's the water thing slipped out of my hand. So I went online, bought a smaller one that had a bigger handle, so I knew I can't drop this thing. And I'm like so frustrated because I had all this water and just went everywhere. So it finally got in today. The package finally got in today. It's all filled up and it's in the refrigerator. And I will be drinking out of my Sith Lord Plays This mug probably tomorrow. So no more water bottles, but we do recycle in my state. So I mean, don't get me wrong, I like using water bottles on occasion, but it's just so frustrating that it slipped out of my hands. Like, what happened? Just I don't know what caused it. I don't know if it was just me being weak or something, or just a moment where I just went whoops. Anyways, so looking back to the uh, professions thing. Now it's a little bit better organized in that I can show you what you're getting, but there's no color scheme anymore. So you just kind of have to go, okay, well, this is going to give you 3 or 2 or whatever. The thing I still hate is the fact that you have to if you filter and you don't want to see what you've made or what you don't have, you have to turn it off. But every time you close the screen out, it comes back and it's like, I don't want to know what I don't have unless I ask for it. And one of the more frustrating things I hate about this whole setup is that I don't want to see this. I don't care what I don't know. Now, granted, they've branched it off so that this is only what's in Shadowlands. This is not what's in anything else. You can filter it to switch off to the other ones if you choose so, but still, I don't want to see this on my screen ever. I just want to know what I can make. This doesn't pertain to me at all. I don't care. Granted, I can't wait to get to the bags if I get to the bags, but which is why you should always have at least one of your playable classes tailor, just because. I recommend it because you can make your own bags. Granted, the auction house probably gives away the nether bags for like 3 gold a pop these days. They don't really make much, but they're like your first standard 16 slot bag, and they're really cheap for now. I don't know if that's changed or not, really. I mean, who knows? Maybe they're back up to the hundreds, but it's a cheap bag. A lot of people make them because netherweave cloth is pretty easy to farm. And the other ones, like the bigger ones, you have to do some work for. Now, if you go to certain areas of the game, like if you're on the alliance side and you go take care of Totes McGoats there, he'll drop his legendary bag for you. You get one, so but it's like a 30 some odd slot bag. It's really good to pick it up yourself. I mean, he respawns pretty quickly, and he always drops it, so it's a free bag. Might as well get it. You just have to fight Totes McGoats. He's a silver elite, so there's that. But you know, I don't. You can also mark now your favorites, which is fine. So if you want one that you do frequently or you're waiting for, just you can also track it as well. You can put the track recipe right here. You'll put up right here. I'll tell you, all right, how much you need or where you need to get, which is good because I hate having to go back into my profession and try to figure out what I'm looking for. So this is a good feature to have track on here. I'm assuming these are your reagent spots. Maybe I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet. I don't even know what's this bag down here. I think it's a reagent bag, but I haven't gotten one or where to find one. I haven't gotten that far. I know it's new with Dragon Blight, but I don't have Dragon Blight, so I really don't know what it's for yet. But that's the profession screen. Now on to the next one. This is the last one. I guarantee it. So this is how I reorganized my screen so I can be something a little bit more manageable. I moved all the stuff close and tight down here. Although this moved over, I'm not really worried about it. Even though it should be over here, it doesn't really bother me as much as it should. I moved my portrait back up here because that's basically what I wanted to do. This is where it's supposed to be, not down here, up here. I don't mind because I don't care because they always have that. The thing is, they always have down here your health and your mana and whatever your resources is. So what's the point of having it down here if you already have it down here? I know it disappears, but still, what the hell's the point? Doesn't make sense. I expanded obviously the chat window to just kind of take up the lower left hand corner, and then I add these action bars, kind of reminisce of what is going on in Star Wars: The Old Republic. And what it used to be down here too is have an extra action bar, and I put like the mount like I do in Star Wars: The Old Republic, and the Hearthstone, which is like Star Wars: The Old Republic, and then on the side is my professions and resurrections and other stuff. I just kind of threw over there. So yeah, that's my layout, and that's my little beef down here. And then over the right hand corner here, that's your character sheet. That's your talents and spells uh, book. This is your talent tree, your achievements, your quests. Can't remember what that is. Dungeon Finder, mounts, collections, your Pathfinder, which I believe is your guidebook or whatever. And then obviously the World of Warcraft store, and then obviously health, and help, escape, etc. settings. I don't know what the bookmark is. Oh, not ringing any bells, really. I think it's a guild finder or something, or a guild tab. I could be wrong. I don't really use guilds in video games anymore. It's not like I don't like guilds. I don't stay on a game long enough to join a guild. I get guild requests in other games. I'm like, I don't really feel like it. I think there's one mobile game I'm in a guild. They've gone quiet. I'm just kind of, doing the daily chores and everything for 10 minutes, whatever, how long it takes. But they haven't asked me to do anything. They don't yell at me for not doing anything. So I'm just like, all right, well, just keep on keeping on. But I get requests in other games. Oh, you should join our guild, yada yada. Even though they don't really say much, they have like limited, what they can say is obviously minimize harassment and everything. But I don't really do guilds. like I said, I don't play games long enough to warrant myself being in a guild. Like I used to be in World of Warcraft. They used to send me guild invites, even though I was like a, decent player. I'm not great, but I don't want to be in a guild that expects me to raid, go on dungeons all the time because I want a guild that's like, hey, if you haven't been on in 6 months, sure, we'll just keep you there. Doesn't matter. But yeah, so that's how far I'm into the Shadowlands. I just got in the Shadowlands, so we'll skip out that because we are done with that screen. And now the moment we've all been waiting for. Solo, a Star Wars movie. This is the fourth in chronological order movies. All right, sorry about that. I have a drinking problem. Water goes down the wrong throat. Anyways, so Solo, a Star Wars movie. Yay! This is obviously the fourth movie in chronological order, not in release order. Obviously, this is the second movie that Star Wars did um, under Disney as an independent film from the trilogy, but still in line with the trilogy. So, um, this is what also caused the Boba Fett movie to be canceled because this movie was written by several different people, directed by a few different people, but Ron Howard ultimately put the movie to paper. Now, or put the movie to the big screen. Now, I really liked this movie when I saw it for the first time, and I'm like, why did people hate it? It's because his Harrison Ford's not in it or whatever. He's too old. I'm like, didn't really not like the movie. The characters were likable. The humor was all right. Han Solo was still good. You know, uh, Lando Calrissian was great. All the characters were nice. I liked it. It was a great movie, but a lot of people just said nope. Um, Woody Harrelson was great in it too. What is it? Where's the ratings on this thing? 6.9 out of 10. Jeez, that's not bad. Not great. It's like a D plus, but in high school. Um, but it was a great movie. Alden Ehrenreich, great. I don't know what he's been in besides Solo. Let me take a look real quick. God, I hate these ads. Nope. Don't know. Nope. None of these movies are ringing any bells. Nope. Anything else on a TV show or something I don't know about? Nope. Nothing. Nope. Nothing ringing any bells. Sorry. Cocaine Bear. I hear that one's good actually. But he was great. He was not a bad guy. Woody Harrelson, obviously phenomenal, funny, pretty good. Amelia Clark, Mother of Dragons, another woman that I wouldn't mind showing her my lightsaber collection. Um, no, I think she's a great woman. Um, she's what? She's only 4 years older or younger than me, so I didn't know she was right. Not bad. She's a great woman. I like her. She's really good in this movie. Um, and obviously Donald Glover was great. He did a good Lando Calrissian. I mean, it was just spot on, like Billy D. Williams on screen when he was younger. If he played Lando, beautiful performance. Um, you know, who else was there? John Furrow was on there. All right, cool. Oh, Warwick Davis was in there too for a brief moment. Didn't have much dialogue, but he was there. He was her favorite Ewok as well as other characters on the show, and obviously Willow. for those who watch Willow. So, you know, I thought this was a great movie. I, I really didn't think it was that bad, but people just hated it so much for whatever reason. And so it starts off basically. I might as well just go into a brief summary of the movie. It starts off with Han Solo on Corellia, him and Kira. That's that's an interesting way to spell Kira. Were trying to escape uh, this this these people that they're smuggling or working for, this gang of whatever. They escape Corellia. Kira gets captured. She disappears. He joins up. Han Solo joins up with the Imperial Navy military, and he wants to become a pilot. That's his goal in life, is become a pilot. He's obsessed with flying and want to be a pilot. He joins Imperial Navy. He meets Woody Harrelson's character Beckett and his crew, and he finds out that they are doing a heist to steal some Imperial equipment so that they could do another heist to steal hyperspace fuel, which is I guess canon now. So he ends up going to. They end up. Solo eventually convinces Beckett to join him in his crew after Solo meets Chewbacca in a pit because Beckett sells him out as a traitor. A they or not traitor, deserter, and so Han Solo gets thrown into the pit. He meets Chewie. They escape the pit. They meet Beckett. Beckett's impressed. They take him on board to do this heist. They go to the heist. Things go awry. As they're robbing the train, some raiders try to rob the hyperspace fuels themselves. Things get worse from there. People start dying. Eventually, it's just Chewie, Han, and Beckett that the only three left that survive the ordeal. They end up going to the Red Dawn. I think it's the Red Dawn. Anyways, by Paul Bentley there. He anyways, they go to the Red Sun, I think it is. Red Sun. Anyways, they go there. They try to hatch up another plan to get some more of the hyperspace fuel, or I can't remember what it's called. Made up Atonium. I don't know. Anyways, don't ask me on trivia. I don't know the answer. Unobtainium. Anyways, so they end up going to the Kessel Spice Mines. Now, the Kessel Spice Mines play an important role in pretty much all of Star Wars. They're the first thing that Han Solo says that he made the Kessel Run in like 10 parsecs or whatever it is, 12 parsecs, which reality is like, that's a distance, not a time. Now, granted, back then, Lucas probably biffed that up and just wrote it like that. But then now they retconned it and made it like, oh, the only way to get into Kessel is if you fly through this maelstrom, and you have to fly through this right path, and it only takes this amount of time. There's no way to make it shorter. And this whole movie retcons that to make it actually, make sense. But the thing is, like, well, that's good and all, but you're the only one who probably could have done that, and there's probably nobody that could repeat that constantly. So, anyways, and they go to the mines of Kessel. They have this. Oh, well, wait, back it up, back it up. They meet Hans. They meet Han, Kira, and Chewie. End up going to meet Lando because Kira knows that Lando has the fastest ship in the galaxy, which is the Millennium Falcon. They play a game of Sabacc. Han plays a game of Sabacc against Lando. Lando's cheating, but Han doesn't know that yet. He knows it, but he doesn't know it. And end up having to have him come along for the ride because he wants part of the game because Kira's there and she convinces him to join them. They go to Kessel with their droid L3E7, and they go there to steal their unrefined stuff in their vault, which is in the basement of the Spice Mines. Stuff goes awry. L3 decides to start a robot revolution, which basically starts a slave revolution, which everybody just starts shooting out the place and fighting each other. And Chewie sees some fellow Wookiees. They get together and leave Han to his own accord. Han tries to escape with the stuff, but is stopped. And then Chewie comes to the rescue, saves Han. They escape, but L3 is, destroyed. Lando is shot in the arm. They get back to the ship. They get in the ship. They get stopped by an Imperial Star Destroyer that sends out TIE fighters to chase after them. They go into the Maelstrom. Eventually, shenanigans happen. They escape the TIE fighters, but then they come up with this big monster thing, and they go find this thing called the Maul, which is a gravity well or black hole, probably two different things. They trick the monster into going in the black hole. However, they can't escape the gravity well because they're at the right pace and speed that they can't, escape velocity doesn't work. They use some of the hyperspace fuel to inject it into the core. It sends them faster through space. They actually make the Kessel Run 12 parsecs, which retcons the whole thing. They end up going to this planet where they're confronted by the raiders after they refine the stuff. So they come up with a solution, a double cross plan where Beckett leaves, comes back, and double crosses Han, but Han actually double crosses all of them by bringing the stuff actually into the room. And the whole shenanigans happen. Kira and Beckett and Chewbacca escape with the hyperspace fuel, while Han, Kira, and Dryden Voss fight it out. And Kira tricks Han and nearly kills Han, but then it was all a trick just to kill Dryden Voss, which they fight. He gets killed by his own weapon. Han and Kira, say their goodbyes, even though Han's madly in love with her. She doesn't feel the same way anymore, even though she kind of does, but she doesn't. But anyways, um, and then Han goes to stop Beckett. Beckett, he stops Beckett, gets the stuff, gets Chewie back and the stuff back, but Kira leaves. You find out that Darth Maul is behind all this, which is great. Don't get me wrong, but you know, from a person who's seen Rebels and then you go watch this, you go, what happened between this movie and Rebels where Darth Maul loses everything? That's what I want to see on film. How did Darth Maul, who was head of several crime organizations, suddenly lose everything? I mean, if you watch the last season of uh, the Clone Wars, which was produced by Disney, they actually implied that Darth Maul knew Drayden Voss, the Pikes, as well as other people in the organization. He ran the underground world, but when you go to Rebels, and he's like a madman in whatever planet they find him in, and eventually dies on Tatooine. But it's like, what happened in that span of time? It had to have been at least, because I think this takes place a few years before New Hope, like maybe 5 or 6 years before. Six, I don't know how many years it is. I'd have to look it up in terms of in terms of where it falls in the timeline. But it let's see. I don't know. I'd have to look that up in like a Wikipedia or something to figure out what day it was, or where it falls in line. I'm assuming it has to be sometime after Kenobi, but definitely before Rebels. So something happened in that timeline where he loses everything. I don't know if there's a book out there that they've made yet or a TV show. I'm pretty sure there isn't, but I would like to know how Maul loses it all, ends up on Rebels, and then just as a mad raving lunatic. He kind of falls down that line on occasion, especially when you find him in the Clone Wars after he escaped the whole Naboo situation. Um, but and then the end, Han goes back to find Lando and wins the Millennium Falcon because he figured out what Lando was doing. He has on his wrist some kind of device that lets him keep one wild card, and a one card he needs to win the game. And Han obviously snatches it up and wins the game. So, and they fly in hyperspace. It's a nice touching ending with Chewie and Han Solo together on the Millennium Falcon. And it's not. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I guess what the problem was with the movie, what people had. I thought it was a great Star Wars movie. It's not Rogue One good, obviously. Rogue One kind of had to like set the bar really high for Star Wars movies. Um, in terms of storytelling as well as suspense, drama, and action. Which, interesting enough, 2 weeks from now we'll be reviewing Rogue One again. So not again, but for the first time on the channel. So I'm looking forward to that because it's been a while since I've seen that movie. That movie is dope AF. I mean, wow. But we're not going to talk about that here. We're still working on Solo, and it basically canceled the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie as well as the Boba Fett movie because that was going to be the next one was Boba Fett, and then then they got the Book of Boba Fett, which was, whew, yeah, that was a show. Um, there's certain things about Star Wars when they don't work with the characters that you normally established. How about that? Reestablished characters just don't seem to work well with Disney movies. New characters seem to excel. Take um, the Mandalorian there. He does really well by himself on his own TV show. But you put in Obi-Wan Kenobi or uh, Boba Fett, and it's like, what the heck's wrong? Now, granted, Bad Batch is kind of the I don't know if it's the exception to the rule or not, because the first season a lot of people really didn't care for it, and I thought it was good. And then the second season had a lot of goofy episodes, but then came the two-part episode in the middle of the series, and like everybody's like, "Yup, that's good Star Wars right there," where Palpatine is one step ahead of everybody, and wish whatever it is in my eye would stop bothering me. Really, I don't know what it is, dirt or something. Anyways, um, and it's it's good Star Wars, but then there's other episodes that just kind of like, is this? Everybody feels like these are filler episodes, but it's characters that are literally not a part of the original Star Wars legacy, I guess, that are excelling, which is great because you know why? These characters have no backstories. They have no beginning, no origin. They're straight up whatever you want them to be in the Star Wars universe. Whereas established characters already have a road that they're already on. They're already going to the path. Now, granted, I hear really good things about Ahsoka. It should be coming out later this year. I don't know when. I haven't really looked it up yet, but her shows are supposed to come out this year, and The Mandalorian comes out in 2 weeks, I believe, from now, or a week from now. Yes, a week from now. Week from yesterday, Wednesday. Wednesday, the 1st of March, I think. Anyways, the point is that's coming out soon. So we got that. And Jeremy should be looking forward to The Mandalorian coming up soon. I think I don't know how many episodes left of the Bad Batch there are, but there's still quite a few left. So we're looking forward to seeing how that plays out. I think the shows are all right. The episodes are not bad. Cat. Anyways, yeah. So, but this movie here, this movie, Solo, a Star Wars movie, kind of the way it was received in theaters wasn't really well, and that's what kind of made Disney go, wait a minute, let's not do any more of these individual movies. Now I don't know why. For me personally, why people thought this movie was trash, I don't know. I wasn't a part of that group. I wasn't in that mindset at the time. I didn't do anything with the people. I don't even I don't I didn't watch it in theaters. That's I think I didn't watch it in theaters. I don't know. It's hard to remember. How far ago was this movie? What year was it? Where is that? Oh, 2018. Really? 4 years ago? Huh. Seems forever ago. 4 years ago could have been 4 decades ago to me almost. It feels like wow, 4 years ago. Yeah, I don't think I saw it in theaters. I saw Rogue One in theaters, but I don't think I ever saw a Solo in theaters. I might have been too busy or I might not have anybody come with me. I don't really get out much, and as a Sith Lord, we don't really do much of anything exciting these days. Just kind of, watch Star Wars movies by yourself at home on Disney episodes plus. So the next one obviously is gonna be this one. And eventually we'll get into the newer ones. But then we'll get into New Hope and Empire Strikes Back and all that other. Why is there two Empire Strikes Backs? What's the difference? One's an 8.8 and the other one's 8.7. What the heck's up with that? Don't trust the bad reviews. Definitely watch this film. It's a good story about Han Solo, KMPB. Great performance by cast. Great screenplay. Yeah, I thought it was a good movie. I honestly don't know what people. Nobody got a better rating than this movie. Wow, that's crazy. So that's my opinion on Star Wars Solo movie. Whoop. So that's it for that. Yeah. Well, like I said, next time, 2 weeks from now, we'll do more chatting, more discussion. I'll have some more things to talk about. Obviously, World of Warcraft was one of the major issues I had tonight with the move with the new layout and everything, and trying to get used to that stuff. It's just like really overwhelming, loading up a game like that and going, "What am I looking at?" Granted, if you're a first time player and that's the first thing you saw, I'm like, all right, cool, I'll just learn as I go. But when you do something for so long and they make you change your ways, that's when you start knowing when you get older when you can't, and you go, I can't follow stuff anymore. I can't do this anymore. Oh, I need a haircut. I was going to say something about something. If I can find it. I was going to look something real quick. If you are in the Midwest region, if I can find the post again on Facebook. Well, I'm gonna have to look that up. Here we go. Let me go back to the. All right. So, if you are in the area of Eau Claire, Wisconsin, QuadCon is coming to that region this upcoming weekend. QuadCon is basically a local Comic Con sort of thing that goes from weekend to weekend throughout the Midwest, specifically Illinois, Wisconsin, Iowa, and Minnesota, and I guess Nebraska as well, and sometimes Missouri. All right, well, there you learn something new every day. This weekend's in Eau Claire. Next weekend's gonna be Ohio and Nebraska, or Omaha, Nebraska. After that, I'll be in Davenport, Iowa on March 11th, Rochester, Minnesota on March 18th, St. Charles, Missouri, March 26th, one day only, which is weird. April 1st and 2nd, Des Moines, Iowa. And then this one right here, I will be attending this one on April 8th and 9th in Madison, Wisconsin. I will be attending that one in costume. Not this costume, but in a cosplay costume. So we'll be debuting one of my newer outfits there. I look forward to going to that one. If anybody's seen the show and is in Madison, Wisconsin, in April 8th or 9th, you can head on over to the East Town Mall in Madison, Wisconsin, and we could run into each other. I don't know, but just say where you see me from, and that's where. Hey, it'd be good. But they have a cosplay contest every once in a while. Celebrities, uh, because maybe inappropriate for younger audiences. Yep, they have a lot of stuff here. Why do they have the same thing over again? I don't know. Usually, the photo contest is on Saturday. See, look at that. A lot of people do cosplay here and QuadCon. So, yeah, follow Quad QuadCon on social media. You can find them on Facebook. Um, Thanks for watching, all you Sith Lords, Darths, Acolytes, and Apprentices, Jedi Knights, Lords, and Apprentices as well. We'll be on again tomorrow night with more Star Wars The Old Republic. We should probably be getting started into Tenenbray's little hissy fit program there. It's going to be interesting to do the light side because now we're going to see what happens in the light side instead of the dark side. So we're looking forward to all that. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to my channels. Follow me on social media. Sign up on my YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube page. And remember, the Force will serve you well.